Odds maker, okay. Week 2 early look for the college football slate. Let's start at the Hilltop where the SMU Mustangs welcome the Baylor Bears. Check out that over 64.5. Last week, Baylor's quarterback Sawyer Robertson threw for over 400 yards in the loss to Auburn. SMU also has a high-powered offense led by quarterback Kevin Jennings. This team against Clemson in the ACC championship game outgained them by 150 yards, and that was with 2 turnovers in the first quarter. Whose defense is going to show up Saturday night in Gerald Ford Stadium? Over to Ames, Iowa, big-time rivalry, Iowa State versus Iowa. If you've ever gone through Iowa, you see 80-85% root for black and gold. But Matt Campbell's got a great squad this year led by quarterback Rocco Becht. Check out that under at 41.5. So we're not going to get a lot of offensive fireworks, and this game always comes down to the final 1 or 2 plays, a field goal, or a 1 or 2 point victory. It's going to be razor thin. No reason to believe anything different this year. Moving over to the East Coast, where in Raleigh we have NC State versus the Virginia Cavaliers. The Wolfpack are a slight home favorite. However, keep in mind, Virginia has new transfer quarterback Chandler Morris, son of Chad Morris. At UNT last year, he threw for 3,700 yards and 31 touchdowns. I like betting on good, experienced quarterbacks, even in a new system. Moving over to the SEC, we're in Lexington. Kentucky welcomes the Fighting Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss Rebels. This is a revenge game. Last year, Kentucky went into Oxford and snuck out of there with a 20-17 victory. And it was just very confusing and shocking for the for Hotty Toddy Nation. And so the Rebels are a 10.5 point favorite with quarterback Austin Simmons. I'm sure everyone wants to just give them the gold medals, but Ole Miss has this problem where there's always a game or two, whether it's at Florida last or this Kentucky game, where they just don't show up. So keep that in mind with a big spread like that, 10.5 points. And finally, one big one, Missouri, 6.5 point home favorites against the Kansas Jayhawks. This is an old-time rivalry. They call it the Border Showdown. 121 previous meetings, and they haven't played since 2011 when Missouri bolted for the SEC. Jalen Daniels is a veteran quarterback. He got hurt last year, and he's going to have a big impact on this game. And Kansas, led by head coach Lance Leipold, they're always solid, tough. You could argue they're one of the hottest teams in the country. Look at the teams they beat last year. So don't just give it to Missouri just because they're SEC. Who are your Week 2 picks?